Hey everyone, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Fabian Rodriguez. I'm a technical community manager at Recast and a former sysadmin who's worked hands-on with Microsoft Intune and Configuration Manager. And in this video series, we will talk about practical, real-world guidance for IT admins to succeed with modern endpoint management. And today, we're going to talk about group and user management with Microsoft Intune. Let's talk about users. Users are managed in Microsoft Entra ID, formerly known as Azure AD, and they sync directly into Intune. Each user has an identity, username, email, license. They can enroll devices into Intune. They can receive assigned apps and policies based on group membership. And a key thing to remember is Intune is identity-driven, not device-driven. This is a big shift if you're coming from Configuration Manager. Intune is what we use to manage devices, deploy apps, and enforce policies from the cloud. But behind the scenes, groups are really what drive everything. So what does this actually mean? When you deploy something in Intune, let's say an app, policy, or compliance setting, you're not targeting devices directly, you're targeting a group. And Intune uses Microsoft Entra security groups to organize users and devices, so it knows exactly where things should go. So why does this matter? If your groups are messy, everything else in Intune becomes harder. Apps don't land where you expect, policies conflict, troubleshooting becomes a mess. So getting this part right early is a big deal. Remember, let's keep it simple as we're getting started. You really only need to understand a few things. We've got assigned groups. You manually add users or devices to these groups. We have dynamic groups, where membership is based off some rules. If you're just getting started, stick with assigned groups. They're easier to understand and control. Then later, as you scale, that's where dynamic groups help. You'll also see built-in groups like all users, all devices. Those are great when you want to target broadly without overthinking. One mistake I see all the time, though, is try not to mix users and devices in the same group when you're assigning things in Intune. That's where you'll start to run into weird behaviors like things don't apply right, they apply inconsistently. Think of groups as your targeting layer in Intune. If something isn't working, don't start with the policy. Start with what group is this assigned to? Let's test this out in a few scenarios quick. Let's say, for example, if you want to target a pilot group to test an application like Firefox, which in your case, you want to make it available to people who request this application. So what we can do is create a static group called Firefox App Users. Here we can add users manually. They would get this application in their company portal if assigned as available. In the next scenario, let's say you're an IT administrator for a software company and you know that Visual Studio Code is a requirement for the engineering department. We can create a dynamic group called Engineering Applications that engineers belong to automatically because the group has a rule in place where if someone is in the engineering department, they are automatically added to that group, which we can use to assign when deploying Visual Studio Code. Let's clear up one of the biggest questions in Microsoft Intune: user groups versus device groups. When should you use a user group? And when should you use a device group? Here's the easiest way to think about it. The user group follows the person. The device groups stay with the device. A user group is tied to a person, so anything you assign to that group follows them no matter what device that they are signed into, a laptop, a desktop, or even a new device. They get the same experience. That's why user groups are great for applications users need, settings based on their role, or anything tied to who they are. Device groups work differently. They're tied to a specific device. So anything assigned to that group stays on the device no matter who logs in. That makes device groups ideal for security settings, compliance settings, or configurations tied to that device itself. For example, if you want to deploy Microsoft Office, use a user group. If you want to enforce BitLocker encryption, use a device group. If you're learning Intune right now, create a few test groups, add some users or devices, assign something like a simple app, and just watch what happens. That's honestly where this starts to click. And if you get comfortable with groups, everything else in Intune, like apps, policies, compliance, start to make a lot more sense. And before we wrap up, if you're already working with Microsoft Intune and looking to make things a bit easier, tools like Recast can help with right-click tools and application workspace. You can get faster fixes, better visibility, and simplify how you manage devices and applications. You can download the right-click tools for Intune for free. Check the description below if you want to learn more, and I hope this helped. I'll catch you at the next one. Thanks.